appetite. So I wait for the shallow itch to pass, and I wait, yeah, I wait. Hey, hey, I'm okay, I don't need this anyway, I'm fine, it's yours and mine. Whoa, oh, I don't know if I was ever hoping I would find, but it's time for me to leave this all behind. I don't have the heart to give away to you again. I don't have the stomach for it, no one ever wins. We had our fun, but I have sung this song to you before. Here's my last refrain. Hey, hey, I'm okay, I don't need this anyway, I'm fine, it's yours and mine. Oh, oh, I don't know if I was ever hoping I would find, but it's time for me to leave this all behind. Hey, hey, I'm okay, I do not need this anyway, I'm fine, it's yours and mine. Oh, oh, I don't know what I was ever hoping I would find, but it's time for me to leave this all behind. Leave it all behind. I never thought I'd see the day. I thought that I had finally moved along, and I had let you go so long ago, so long. This is not where I belong. So I wait for the shallow itch to pass, and I wait, yeah, I wait. Hey, hey, I'm okay, I don't need this anyway, I'm fine, it's yours and mine. Oh, oh, I don't know what I was ever hoping I would find, but it's time for me to leave this all behind. I don't regret a single thing. I couldn't say it didn't feel alright, but I don't wanna stay and I don't wanna fight all alone with my foolish appetite. So I wait for the shallow itch to pass, and I wait, yeah, I wait. Hey, hey, I'm okay, I don't need this anyway, I'm fine, it's yours and mine. Whoa, oh, I don't know if I was ever hoping I would find, time for me to leave this all behind. Leave it all behind. I never thought I'd see the day. I thought that I had finally moved along, and I had let you go so long ago, so long. This is not where I belong. So I wait for the shallow itch to pass, and I wait, yeah, I wait. Hey, hey, I'm okay. I don't need this anyway. I'm fine. It's yours and mine. Oh, oh, I don't know what I was ever hoping I would find, but it's time for me to leave this all behind. I don't regret a single thing. I couldn't say it didn't feel alright, but I don't wanna stay and I don't wanna fight all alone with my foolish appetite. So I wait for the shallow itch to pass, and I wait, yeah, I wait. Hey, hey, I'm okay. I don't need this anyway. I'm fine. It's yours and mine. Whoa, oh, I don't know what I was ever hoping I would find, but it's time for me to leave this all behind. I don't have the heart to give away to you again. I don't have the stomach for it. No one ever wins. We had our fun, but I have sung this song to you before. Here's my last refrain. Hey, hey, I'm okay. I don't need this anyway. I'm fine. It's yours and mine. Oh, oh, I don't know what I was ever hoping I would find, but it's time for me to leave this all behind. Hey, hey, I'm okay. I do not need this anyway. I'm fine. It's yours and mine. Oh, oh, I don't know what I was ever hoping I would find, but it's time for me to leave this all behind. Leave it all not where I belong. So I wait for the shallow itch to pass, and I wait, yeah, I wait. Hey, hey, I'm okay. I don't need this anyway. I'm fine. It's yours and mine. Oh, oh, I don't know what I was ever hoping I would find, but it's time for me to leave.
Okay, let's see if we can get things started. Definitely got a huge delay on Rumble. I can tell we are buffering bad for some reason. But as I said, I'm not gonna worry about it. Because I don't know that there's ever gonna be anything that I'm gonna be able to do about it, so yeah. It's just one of those things that we're just gonna have to learn to deal with. You know, sometimes you're the Titanic, sometimes you're the iceberg. Wow. It's really buffering bad. And you could totally cut off what I was saying even. Alright, so the purpose of today's episode is to talk about the LA riots. And see, I was like 12 when those happened. I'm curious whether or not we will have to deal with air horns. Wondering if air horns will be a thing. 'Cause we know that we have those a lot in riots. But I don't know if that's the way that it ends up working. In their world or not. So we'll find out. We'll find out if we have a lot of earphones. I also know that I can't seem to get to where I'm hearing it. Happens a lot. And I want to be able to hear it in multiple places. So excuse me while I fix my regular failings here. Let's check out the leftist ass thing.
Your leftist ass like corn on the cob.
not hear it, but I believe that I'm able to hear. Yeah, I'm able to hear that. No, wait, I'm not hearing it. I don't think I'm hearing it. Hold on a second.
Two male Negroes on motorbikes with walkie-talkie in the vicinity of 5900 block South Avalon. In the Watts
I think I
area.
figured out what the
52
problem is.
Chevrolet, white in color.
Let's do this for a minute here. What's going on is that I have it coming through several different places here.
Containing four male Negroes with a...
Alright. So I gotta see wonders of technology here. Hold on a second, chat. So I got it's connected to my phone. Apparently. And then I gotta go. Let me see here. No, I don't think that that's actually what the problem is. Mhm. Come on. Let's get this straightened out here. This is crazy. I hate technology. This is all there is to it. I hate fucking technology. Now I'm not connected to my phone at all, so I can't tell how anything sounds to you. All I know is that when I press this on my damn phone, I want to be able to hear it. God, I don't understand why this has to be so hard. This is something I go through every single time I'm trying to stream. Every damn time. And I'm just sick of it. Okay, so I now know for sure that I can hear it on my end. The $1,000,000 question that I have to make sure of is you guys are hearing it. And to do that, I have to take out my lovely phone. And I've got to get connected to it separately. It's just the only way it works. Why ain't I got connected to my phone with my other headset?
Sawed-off shotgun. Reserve the looted store area. 4 male Negroes. 52 Chevy, white color with shot-off shotgun. Watch area.
All Hollenbeck units be on the alert for Molotov cocktails. All Hollenbeck units be on the alert for Molotov cocktails.
This is where it began. This is where the fuse was lighted. It began with the arrest by white officers of the California Highway Patrol of 2 young Negroes, one on a charge of drunk driving, the other his brother, his passenger. Their mother, who lives nearby, came to the scene. There was an argument. There was a scuffle. By then, a crowd of several hundred Negroes had gathered, and the story of police brutality quickly spread through the community. Up the street, a block or so in that direction, a church where Negro leaders pleaded for peace and were rejected. Down that way, the busy intersection where cars were overturned and burned, where a television technician was pulled from his wagon and almost beaten to death. It was the most widespread, most destructive racial violence.
So, part of my challenge is I have a gazillion different things all wanting to connect to my damn thing. And it's just- I've got to get it fixed so that one set of earbuds is dedicated totally to my damn phone. And another set of earbuds is connected to dedicated to totally my damn thing. And it just seems like that can't seem to happen. I'm all the time having to use different ones for different things. But right now, I can't get this shit to connect to my phone fucking at all. And I don't understand why. The ones that I'm trying to connect to my damn phone just won't do it. And it makes no damn sense. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to forget everything that's been connecting to my damn phone because I use it so much for absolutely fucking everything. Good fucking lord. It's just fucking ridiculous. But this has to be a problem and it has to be a damn thing every single time I try to stream. Every single time I go through this. I have now been trying to stream for like 30 minutes. 30 fucking minutes I have been trying to fucking stream. Uh, we may have it now. Okay. Okay. I think we finally got it now. The delay that you guys have on your end is wow. Absolutely just wow. Okay. All right. So let's learn together. Merry Christmas. Let's learn together about the LA riots. And the LA riots were apparently the last time that we ever used the Insurrection Act. That's what I'm hearing from people in the know who apparently know these things better than I do. And what I'm hearing is that is the first time we ever used the Insurrection, or last time that we used the Insurrection Act. And that's what apparently why some people consider what we're doing just so atrocious. Like it's just such a rare thing. Why would you do that? We don't normally do this. We haven't done it in a long time. And so I'm curious about how the LA riots might differ in comparison to what we are experiencing now. And I don't know. I'm curious whether or not there's an argument to be made that the Insurrection Act would not be appropriate in this situation, and that whether or not you really can't compare the two. So let's get this started. And it is worth noting that we do not currently have Molotov cocktails. Now, why they're doing everything here in black and white, I don't know. I don't think newscasts were in black and white. But they're just, I guess they're doing it for dramatic effect. Is my only explanation that I can give you, is that it's being done for dramatic effect. Oh, that's 1965? What?
This is where it began. This is where the fuse was lighted.
What? So this was from 1965?
California Highway Patrol, two young Negroes, one on a charge of drunk driving, the other his brother, his passenger. Their mother lives nearby. Came to the scene.
The LA riots in 1992. Hold on.
Sorry, police brutality with respect to humanity. Of the street blockers, zone Insurrection, a church where Negro leaders lead the peace movement. And then the disease from cars, burning, without restriction, focus on those people. Into those lines were most of the violence in Mexico. The burning.
So I guess we start out talking about
Negroes.
Police chief Parker described the rioters as monkeys in a zoo, and Negro leaders more than once called for his removal.
In creating the situation, where was the failure? Nevada City, Valley, the schools?
This, I think, is one of the difficulties to me. This is they were trying to find a failure other than the people themselves. And it's a very dangerous move because the church is sort of sanctify their acts.
Every agreement that was had by the people who started this thing, they had nothing done. So the only thing that was done was that massive forces were brought in to suppress the actual overpassion.
How was it effective? Kids out of me, push around me like that's all. How push around? How about it? Stopping us on the street, killing those, kicking out, kicking teeth in.
We're stopping people on the street now.
Yeah, right. Stop. Already been done a long time ago now.
During this entire incident, we've heard constant references to respect for law and order. More particularly, what they mean is respect for law enforcement. Now, to really understand the problems of these people, you have to understand what law enforcement has meant to them for 100 years. We're talking about the white man's law enforcement that's responsible for many electrons being chased out of the South on one pretext or another. Under those conditions, you can understand that people aren't going to be reverent about law enforcement and men with first law.
How to make it better, make the whole writing stop. I think that's stop, really. Never. I mean, have to never stop. I don't think.
Conclusions are questions about lots. And that again, so serious that it poses the situation of this condition, there was this the arbitrary being the nature, with the law, one end future. What's on the animation? We can place a man on the moon, but cannot kill the cities in our cities. This is no doubt what CBS report in Los Angeles. Good night.
Now, the Suspicion Committee, I think that is our opportunity to deal with those sites and economic security of housing conditions, their schools, and to deal with the police problems to make Los Angeles a model city of the nation.
The writing is never saw this. Not even maybe as bad as it was in some ways or in some areas, but it's never stopped. Interesting.
Daryl Gates has spent 28 years working his way through the ranks of the top job. The Vinci Party's driver and bodyguard, his third appearance under the shape of this organization. This will be Daryl Gates' work to liberals, but immensely critical. What they charge with excessive use of force by the Los Angeles Police Department.
Daryl Gates is causing the crime of polarization that is dangerous.
Many Americans think of Hollywood when they think of Los Angeles, but Los Angeles is also the border entry for America's blueprints from Asia and North America.
In the last 15 years, more than 2 million immigrants from around the world have poured into the city. Many of the city's new small businesses are the American dream of foreign born.
Our city is a stunning ethnic and cultural mosaic. We have forged a sense of identity, of common concern and destiny. Like Dr. Martin Luther King's words, I'm honored to stand here today and look out upon faces of many different colors, intermingled like the waters of a river. Yet I see only one face, the face of the future. Thank you.
I am pleased to announce that at midnight tonight, all United States and coalition forces will suspend offensive combat operations. This is not a time of euphoria, certainly not a time to gloat. It is a time of pride. Pride in our troops, pride in our nation, and the people whose strength and resolve made victory quick, decisive, and just.
This latest yellow ball shows people in the United States feeling positive about their country and their president, following the eye of the
Ellie Reddit wanted to reach our end zoom 10% less water. They're rapidly citing water conservation measures today.
It looks unto in fact, he's saying the perceptions of the only South
And land change by 65%.
It's now on Pleasant Day. Thanks, Mr. Buck.
An unusual twist in a case of alleged race-based police brutality in Los Angeles. Neither the police nor the suspect knew that a home video camera had captured the scene. It began as a high-speed chase and ended some morning with the motorist blackmail being brutally beaten. The victim was struck as many as 56 times and suffered several broken bones. 56 times. That's what the American public saw on videotape. George Holliday lives across the street. He had his video camera out and recorded what happened when the suspect was being arrested. He came somebody and looked across the street. That's why I saw that. That's what's going on. The suspect identified as Robert King. King, who was married and has 2 stepchildren, on parole after serving time for armed robbery. His wife says that's so too. So what happened?
It was attracted by somebody just arrested and gave us a gun or something. Why did he mess out like that?
Doctor said he suffered a concussion. One of his eye socket was polarized. His cheekbone was so pushed in from the blows to his face that it would require reconstructive surgery.
None of the prisoners of war from American forces taken by Saddam Hussein came back beaten that badly.
Los Angeles police say the incident was not racially motivated, but the black community is not buying that. All 300 members of the NAACP marched on police headquarters today.
This is something that should never happen. We have in place all the procedures that would keep it from happening. Those procedures fell down because of human error. The ACLU said we received about 55 calls a week from people alleging police brutality.
The incident early Sunday morning is not an isolated incident. The difference this time is that we have the proof.
You have any idea how many times you were hit by a club? What do you remember about that?
Several times. And in stumps and gates. That's from some kind of device they use. They shot me. Got me kicked out of that.
What makes you say they got kicked out?
Because how long is that in? It was like that was 21 work.
What kind of things did you hear from the officers? Did you hear any kind of slurs though?
What do you mean? Slurs?
Were they kind of press constantly?
Oh, racial? No. I didn't.
You practice with if you want. But Lars family has made it very clear they're not looking to turn this into a racial crusade. Mr. Keith doesn't want to make neighbors of the leadership because he was black man. They didn't say so. And they put some other things on his head. No idea. But at the present time, it doesn't seem to them.
As you know, the State Attorney's Office has been conducting an investigation into the Rodney King, and I'm asking today that the obtained indictments against 4 Los Angeles police officers for their role in beating Mr. King. LAPD Officer Lawrence Powell, Timothy Wynn, Theodore Brasino, and Sergeant Stacey Coon have been indicted for assault with a deadly weapon and threats to use of force against public authority. Officer Powell and Wynn and Sergeant Coon are further charged with inflicting great bodily injury in a brutal attack that has now been witnessed by millions of people. Under California law, these are felonies punishable by up to 7 years in state prison. Sergeant Coon and Officer Powell have also been indicted for providing false reports. All 4 officers surrendered this morning to the District Attorney's Office. They've been arrested, fingerprinted, and voted. Thank you very much.
It's the world news place of Insurrection, sitting in Washington.
Everything the evidence is new, it's dramatic, and it's bursting. The Los Angeles police officers involved in March 3rd began that quarters.
One of the 2 officers who moved the that evening were laid in after the arrest to their car, saying, quote, sound almost as exciting as our last call. It was right out of Rosen Nest.
One policeman involved in the said, quote, I haven't been anyone this bad in a long time.
I'm sure we'll do this.
Here's how bad is the police is more by policemen.
I think it was the end of the city, especially our
Sorry, some of the officers are clearly out of control, and they have to ultimately be willing to take a good on the leadership of the party.
Mr. President, all of us, I think, have been stunned by what's happened, and I can't imagine the chief or anybody else in the city would condone the kind of conversation that took place both electronically and by voice in that television that night. Black are not animals. They're not lizards. They're not apes. They're not gorillas any more than any of us are. They're human beings. The first way to open the door to brutalize people in any place is to treat their worth as human beings. And when I read the transcript conversation, I was appalled. But the ability to freely converse in racist terminology suggests a level of tolerance for that kind of discussion that is not acceptable by any standard. This is a department that this council has supported over and over again. This is a police department that supports you, each of you. And I can tell you this, if you don't speak up on behalf of men and women of Los Angeles Police Department that serve the people of the city well, if you don't do that, at this crucial moment in our history, then I'm going to tell you you're in a police department that is not going to be the kind of department you want, the kind of department that people deserve. Mr. Wu.
Thank you. I want to know, do you mean that as a threat? In other words, that if I or other members of the council are going to be criticizing you or the department, are you saying that you will withhold support of these services to fight crime in our districts?
That is the most insulting thing I've heard on this council floor in all the time I've been here. I've been here a lot longer than you've been alive. Absolutely not. It's a professional organization. What do you think we are?
You showed up against the wall and started struggling. I cannot breathe. They tried to get me to the basketball. They threw me aside and said, get out of here now. Is that the LAPD? We found one case where a dog attacked and chest of a 16-year-old girl. The dogs are quite large and aggressive. They rip away flesh and muscle. They will tear out blood vessels, and they will sometimes break bones.
Police send our kids completely conflicting messages. They're in schools every single day, and our kids see them on TV beating a man like a dog. The police are trained to approach black men as criminals first and citizens second.
But before you leave South Central, you need to understand that verbal abuse happens here every day and every night. Get on the floor, nigga. Assume the position, nigga. Sit on the curb, nigga. Let people on the curb, nigga. Can we speak up? Everything's violating information. Why shouldn't we get that? People are talking about taking it to the streets, and they ain't talking about just marching.
Another widely publicized incident captured on videotape in Los Angeles.
March 16, 1991.
This grainy security camera videotape graphically depicts the last few moments of 15-year-old Latasha Hartland's life. Store owner Soon Jadu thought 15-year-old Latasha Hartland was going to steal some orange juice.
She had the money in her hand. You can see the money in the videotape. And the suspect grabbed the backpack, and there became a physical altercation over the backpack. And as our victim turned to walk away from the scene, the suspect raised a weapon and shot the victim in the back of the head.
Latasha was an A student, honor roll student. She had money every week for her allowance, so she did not have to see orange juice.
The store clerk, a Korean woman, is now in jail. The black community is outraged over the killing. The NAACP is demanding the clerk be tried for murder.
The case has become a symbol of tensions between two large groups in this ethnically diverse city. African Americans and the Koreans who become successful merchants in many of the poorest black neighborhoods.
As many as 300,000 Koreans live in Los Angeles, many of them live in an area known as Koreatown. Some blacks see the Koreans as a merchant class that takes advantage of the black community. We are deeply concerned that this incident may be detrimental to the positive efforts within the two communities. In order to strengthen our bonds, we will actively join with the African American community to develop measures to prevent further tragedy.
So I didn't really understand all about this. Like, I didn't know that there was so much tensions between Koreans and the black community in Los Angeles at the time. I thought all of this just started with Rodney King, but it appears that there was a lot of other things that happened after Rodney King. I'm still waiting to get to the part where we have the rioting. Like, wow, there was so much more to think.
What do you think the report? Thank you.
So many comments.
Child work and costs. Make sure you do not action. Final trends. Guilty of voluntary manslaughter. Demolished with people sexual 92 days. Listening to the message. Charge. You can't work
It is now a time for healing. It is not a time for rhetoric. There serves no purpose other than to fuel the fire. It's like throwing gasoline on a fire that's already burning. In my opinion, Mrs. Jew is not a danger to the community, and she is not going to repent. I know a criminal when I see one. I know a person who presents a danger to the community when I see one. When I don't, I treat that person as something other than that.
Wow. No jail time? Yikes.
Unfortunately, a judge who's probably never been down here, a judge who probably knows very little about this community,
He definitely did nothing to help the situation, I'm sure.
the language not valuable enough.
Racism is not Korean killer. Racism is justice that allows for the killer. We have to show Los Angeles that we are with you, and we are committed to the salvation of our people. And we are prepared to be simply disobedient.
Well, more than silly disobedient. I didn't realize there was all this shit happening.
Judge Brown caught by surprise when Burson announced that he would rather change the venue in the trial before police officers charged in connection with beating over Rodney King. The change of venue motion is waiting in twine with whether we can get jurors. I'm very concerned whether we can get jurors who I can get. Other high-profile cases, such as those of Charles Manson and Robert Kennedy's assassin Sirhan were not transferred out of Los Angeles despite publicity. But the best say this case is different.
Everyone has opinion on the buildings of these fans. That's why it would be very difficult to get fair trial.
To move this file away from the sworn controversy in the LA media, the negative is changed to the Simi Valley, mostly woke suburb of Los Angeles where many police officers live. Simi Valley is a town of 100,000 people just 35 miles north of Los Angeles. Simi Valley residents are 88% white. Just 1.5% of the people who live here are black.
Oh boy.
Did you say anything to Mr. King?
Yes. What did you say? You let him lay down on the ground, get down on the ground. A series of commands. A series? Yes. You repeated? Right. And told her what happened next. I continued to hit him, and then knocked him to the ground, fell him to stay on the ground, and he repeated the motion again, getting up again. I was completely in fear for my life, scared to death that if this guy got back up, he was going to take my gun away from me, or he was going to be shooting. And I was doing everything I could to keep him down on the ground.
At any time during this evening, did it go through your mind that this is not a human being to a beating?
No.
He wasn't an animal, was he? No, sir. He was acting like one. Yes, sir. He was acting like a girl. Yes, sir. Now, this call involved these African Americans in the jungle.
In what?
A jungle?
No.
Was it the zoo?
No.
Were there any girls around?
I didn't see any.
It's
I'm thinking that Mr. King has been subjected to an enormous amount of
Well, that's good.
pain. It's almost as if his body is an exercise in pain. What were you thinking? I was thinking that I have exhausted all of these forces I have, short of deadly forces. I'm thinking at this time I'm going to have to use a chokehold form of that. And why didn't you want to use a chokehold, sir? Because in Los Angeles, the chokehold is associated with death and black. How do you view it? It's violent and brutal. Was this anything that you enjoyed? No. Why was it done? They can control aggressive command suspect and sometimes totally brutal. It's just a fact of life.
Every day, regular votes for the public file to watch the trial. And you can too, if you could. Actually, have a pretty good chance. We have 17 seats allocated to the public. However, the other seats that we have reserved, if people don't show up to those seats, then we immediately open up to the public. If you want a copy, though, here on the book. This should be separately recorded, of course, and that is anything about the trial itself or any type of racial slurs on anything that might be misconstrued by anyone.
Stopping the video 35102. Have you seen Mr. King swinging anyone? No, I haven't. Has he ever seen anyone? No, I haven't. Is your testimony at any point after 34220, any time below Mr. King, reason why necessary? Yes, there is. Sorry, I've been there. It's before that situation. Please tell us. Why did you even go there? We need to do. Would that do also why didn't you go? You have to stand down. It's not the only thing. That's why escape. I'm not trying to resist. When you respect what you say, enough is enough. That's not reasonable starts.
Our whole system of justice is based on belief we from the community, fairly and timely, decide this issue, devoid prejudice, justice will not, justice will be done. Think ahead and make the decision now about what you will be able to say years from now. I was true to my oath, I was true to the law, I was true to myself.
Maybe the issue ended up being the thing with that module. I would have known. That didn't know this happened. It doesn't know. So that's why I don't know what else.
Yeah. I told the jungle back here. Jungle? No, sir. I think it's friends with jungle people, okay? You for those witnesses of indication of indication. You got to the right, which I decided right now. You have to the right. Stick with the head.
What?
Yeah, give me my shot and measure down. Yeah, take somewhere else. Yeah. Can you just tell us what's left? It's the hard with that. Okay. Wait, just change. No, not really. It's just down there. Good. I know. Yeah.
I'm late right now. Yeah. Don't even worry. How do you feel about it? Got really tough.
So they're right now. After we're out in the valley.
Well, Madam Mayor, take a situation. Let's come down right now. There are people outside. There's a security here. For what you know, I'm schooling that be prepared for whatever may arise in the event of a break. So everyone's in a state of anticipation.
What we're doing, hello.
I'm told that we have the equipment break, so we will go live there. Now, breaks been reached on all counts. Mr. Paul, Ben, answer those counts. And will you be reformed for those counts? Okay, would you hand them to the please?
Title court the jury, in title action, find the defendant Lawrence M. Powell not guilty of the crime of assault, force violation, disgrave bodily injury,
That's what it was at all.
violation of penal section 24581 felony, as charged in count 1 of the amended indictment. This 29th of April 1992, signed by Ford. We the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Timothy E. Wynn not guilty of crime of assault by force, likely to disgrave bodily injury, with a deadly weapon. We the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Theodore J. Casino not guilty of crime of assault by force, likely to disgrave bodily injury, with a deadly weapon. We the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant Stacey C. Coon not guilty of crime of assault by force, likely to disgrave bodily injury, with a deadly weapon. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, repeat your verdicts. So say you one, so say you all. Yes.
The jury in Los Angeles Police Brutality Trial has just reached its verdict. The 4 police officers who were videotaped repeatedly beating an unarmed man were found not guilty on all but one count. Of the 4 police officers seen on videotape beating the 50-year-old is not guilty.
Today, this jury told the world that what we all saw with our own eyes wasn't the crime. Today, that jury asked us to accept the senseless and brutal beating of a helpless man. Today, that jury said we should tolerate such conduct by those who are sworn to protect and serve. My friends, I'm here to tell this jury, no, our eyes haven't seen. We saw what we saw. What we saw. Yes, it's mine. They say you're right. It is so mine. They can't see us. It is so mine. Whatever something happens, one of us, we met. It only killers. So there's one.
No, the campus never run. That's what should be sort of motivating. I show the world. Let's see what you know. You guys never respect us. We do this stuff. If I want to beat you, if I want to beat you out, the way we just say I can't say. These guys want to have a
I respect the rest of the world. The Bush stands up to challenge leaders of nations around the world to respect human rights and not engage in a denial of those rights systems. Very likely, they're not part of this video, okay? And remember the name Rodney King.
Tonight we must tell our children, one more time, stay cool, be calm, that for African American children and adults, freedom is not their reality in the United States.
I mean, there was at one point, I think, we're burning in other places. For Black Lives Matter, you know, already. They're probably interested. Wow. How many bathrooms set on fire? What are you doing? What's this making? There were some female reporters out there.
organized demonstration. Well, I think it's kind of an organized demonstration. And then it grew and grew. And now it has been for the past hour or so pretty much a standoff here. Right down the middle of the street.
It is a multiple crowd. It is not predominantly any color. It's letting the freeze, not going along block to block. And nobody's stopping them. One tree after another.
These pretty bombs with the front hanging down red fuel for an arson.
There was some really wild things that came. You know.
I talked to somebody else a little while ago. They really don't know what to do right now. There are TV cameras all over and people all over, and I don't give away no money going out of here because I'm in control.
Civic Center, right turn 1.2.
Stephanie, is that you? Do you want to change the house widespread is violence because it'll be hard to talk about? Okay. Well, this evening we understand that there are about 20 fires burning, mostly in south central Los Angeles. This is a predominantly black area of the city.
This is a super swap meet location. Someone, or actually a group of over 100 people, went into this location and looted it. And every time they go in and loot, after they're done looting, they set fire to the structure.
First time tonight from Darrell Gates, who is holding news articles living life. Again, I think most of it's concentrated in the south central Los Angeles area, but probably we find many locations where there are no officers, and that needs to be corrected, and we're trying to do that as quick as we can.
Structure fire, 2464. You think it's a pretty heavy flak on hands above Hobart. Fire through the window.
They're dispatching LAPD units along with all fire trucks that respond to major emergency blazes for our protection. But with respect to trying to get LAPD service or anything else, folks, you're on your own down there.
There are fires burning, there are people being beaten, there is looting. It is a dangerous night in the city of Los Angeles. I'm advised that there is someone from the Secretary of State's office on the way over to accept this proclamation of a state of emergency for Los Angeles City and Los Angeles County. This is in response to requests by Mayor Bradley. As a result of the discussions that we have had, there will be as many as 750 California Highway Patrolmen. Additionally, we have made available some 2,000 National Guardsmen. They are on standby, prepared to move. Transport has been arranged, and it is our purpose here at the state government level to restore law and order and to minimize the danger to the residents of the area. This is a matter that needs to be settled in the courts and not in the streets. Thank you.
White House officials scrambling at this very moment to produce a statement from President Bush. Nobody expected that verdict the way it came down. There's nothing really that the White House can do about that verdict, but it does present a huge political problem. Many civil rights leaders thought that President Bush has been weak on civil rights promises.
Discussions with President Bush either on the telephone or has it been...
President Bush has not talked to us. Let's be straight about this. We have no access to the White House. We had one meeting since I have been in Congress with the president. It was pro forma, it was courtesy, but there is no relationship.
That we thought?
I think so, yeah.
Administration officials say that the Justice Department had, in fact, launched a civil rights investigation into the Rodney King beating, but once state charges were brought, they sort of put that on hold. Now, it's unclear at this moment exactly where that investigation stands. Faith?
It would almost seem at this point, Jimmy, they'd have to pick it up, and you cannot ignore that all of this is coming in a presidential election year.
You know that I don't think he's done enough, but I think we have had too much division and too little harmony. I think there's been too little effort to bring people together across racial lines. This is a human problem. People in this country don't trust each other and don't trust the system. And the political system is too often dividing people by race, and that is the urgent task for America today. Our diversity will either be our undoing or the source of our greatest strength.
I am angry, and I have a right to that anger, and the people out there have a right to that anger. We don't want anybody killed. None of us believe in violence. But there's some angry people in America, and young black males in my district are feeling at this moment, if they could not get a conviction with the Rodney King video available to the jurors, that there can be no justice in America.
Located election here in Los Angeles, and we're discussing all the violence and the aftermath and the directions to go as far as this incident here. Vent your anger, your frustration, your hard feelings, not out in the streets, not breaking windows, not looting, not rioting, but, you know, I guess some people say, just punch on me, punch on the radio station, talk to us over the lines. Let's go back to the phone lines and let's see how you feel this morning.
I'm very frustrated, you know, because I don't have no neighborhood no more.
This is not a way for us to vent our frustration. This is what they expect us to do.
I've been listening to KJLH on my last. I only have 3 words for what's happening. I know the same 3 words that was uttered during the 1965 riot.
And you're going to say those bad words, huh?
Or maybe wrong.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robin.
I thought on TV, come down here, it's just lazy.
That's your store?
Yes, this was a 99-cent store. And she has another store on Crenshaw. And that one's gone. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. But what can you say? They said it all yesterday. And this is how come up. And this is how come this.
1981년 6월 있고 있습니다.
한편으로는 또 소식을 전해드리죠. KFWB 980AM 뉴스 라디오는 이번 특보에서 한인들의 피해가 가장 심각하다고 보도했습니다. 이 방송은 저희가 한국관계에 대한 한인들의 피해가 큰 것 같다고 밝히고 I don't think any other people, any other race, any other college, just it happened. It happened. That's it. You want a video game, you want good education, you want to keep our good education continuous. And that's it. We live here, and we live here, and
The city is still officially under a state of emergency. Houston Council is going to be discussed how to proceed from here.
the purpose of the meeting is to discuss the insurrection related to the state of emergency in the city of Los Angeles, declared by the mayor on April 29th. Okay, Mr. Holden.
Mr. President, members, I'm sure you've heard from each of my colleagues before I arrived, and certainly seen on TV, asking for comment regarding the tragedy that took place last night in the city in City. The question is, how do we stop it? If we have a pretty good idea it's likely to occur, and it will, unless we have a presence. But you got to start deploying right now, I tell you. Handwriting on the wall.
I can't really tell because we're on the radio and barely see the television. People still losing at this time.
Yes, they are. I see them when I'm coming into work, they're going to stores, and they still taking things. And laughing.
Man, go on side, man.
While the looting seems to continue unabated, the mood at least seems to be very calm today.
Hey, right through that factory direct sale. This is the biggest sale we've probably ever seen. It's like people are looting anything they can get their hands on. Because they got a plant even. They're right out the front window taking off.
Everything visible, all this is exciting. What's wrong with this exciting? But you know something? It's kind of order. It's kind of order in a way. I tell you, this is legally shot here. This is legal.
Where are the police? Where are all the police that Chief Gates said would be ready for this?
Chief Gates, yes, just to emphasize our deployment will increase substantially, and we hope that will satisfy the need.
Now there's the police. Now everyone's right here. The police are coming. There must be 2 or 3 other people still coming out of that store right now. How many people fit in that store? But they're all running out because they're really finally moving in. The police can't arrest as many people. They just go running with their merchandise. The police really are running out. They can't run after them.
These are people do it. So we come right back. It's my judgment that the overwhelming majority of those who are engaged in that unlawful activity are not the law-abiding citizens of this community, but those who are taking advantage of an opportunity.
Where are you going? Are you embarrassed? Don't you know this is illegal? Why did you do this? It's free. It's free? Don't you know what's going on? You don't care?
Where are the National Guard troops that have been promised? Why do we not see them?
Has the National Guard been called out? That's Mr. Dan. We have reports of several hundred in the area, and we expect to see and hear from them soon.
I understand the idea that they can make things worse, but they can send about the police too. I mean, how much worse than we get?
누구랑이 통이야. 하나님에게 온전한 꿈이란 남편다.
이건 흑날이 아니라 경찰에 말을 하면 이건 그만큼 문제라고 그러거든요. 그 단도 어떻게 해야 되는 건데요.
자존심 가기 다시 한번 말씀드리겠습니다. 여기 그냥 한국으로 하고요. 어른들은 부서원 지역을 선택하신 것 때문에 우리 이거 하면 원인지 그러세요. 그냥 지금 아이 그런 것 같은 거 원인지 지금 저를 보지 않겠습니다. 여러분들 질문에서요. 다른 지역을 더 커버하고 문제.
We got a fire that's broken out in Korea across Western Avenue.
And there may be hiding disturbances in Korea now. This is the first we've heard about this kind of activity.
Yes, that's right. That is just erupted.
I'm seeing official firefighters and are they in the air?
No firefighters here.
그 주민들이 그분 닫고 피하신 것은 많이 급해하셨고 충분히 나와가지고 이에 대비해서 출발하신 분들이 지금 가득 출발하셨어요. 여러분들 본인들이 하신 사업 그런 거를 보호할 권리가 물론 있습니다. 꼭 필요하다 하면 무장할 수도 있겠죠. 그런 권리를 인정하는 법인은 나는데.
They've taken the law into their own hands, positioned themselves on the roof. They are also armed with clubs. The Iran's here have prepared to protect themselves against anything that may come their way.
The police didn't come here. We need the shouldn't have got in here.
No police support whatsoever. People are driving by shooting at us, and we have to do something about it. It's just football games.
That's right. It's certainly not a game. Those people that are on the roof are carrying rifles and lots and lots of ammunition.
They're shooting at us. So far we've been shooting up, but when it comes to words, we're not going to sit around shooting up. Like, we're going to shoot at them.
Are we live? You're live. This is way more live. Some of the Korean job owners here pull out of their stores and they start pulling out weapons. There's some cars that have some freeze here.
Wow. Looking forward to that happens right there.
I know you guys lie. You don't have time to see our 3 fires in Hollywood. You can take it.
The fires, one of 3 fires that had recently broken out in the Hollywood area. The other was just east of that. And frankly, up in the area here, we can see fires easily beyond the Compton area. Clearly, the fires are spreading. The whole city's flames down. We are getting reports of looting from all over Los Angeles and also surrounding areas. It's not confined to South Central, not confined to Los Angeles. It's all over.
Brightown Hospital, fire, the fire department, the police department, everybody else is trying to help scatter all over the city. So the fire's burning out the road.
Confirmed dead at this time. At least 572 injured, including 2 firefighters.
This number is accurate. I don't know exactly how to say this, but 916 structure fires are burning in the Los Angeles area. 916.
There's people down there with automatic weapons.
Mid-Wilshire, Hollywood, Beverly Hills, Culver City on the right.
People are going crazy down here. It's like they're feeling so pressed, and then they're going to go and burn every town. They're going to be more impressed.
Well, there's shit going on with people other than, you know, black thing. You know what I mean? I mean, you guys people that work 60 to 80 hours. Me, and still have bill collectors calling. You see the bosses still out in these mercs and these roads every day, struggling in the back, and telling them it's going to be all right. Yeah, how long can that last?
It's not right. Why would you want to understand that? It's not right. It's not right. It's not right, but don't do it. I'll take for the jail, too. Take it all you can. I need to let the hell up. Don't let the stop it. You call it back out. You man, why did you drive my business? Why did you drive my truck? Why did my computer? I'll try to make it. And you understand that. Take out finish. I'll try to make it.
Wow. It's crazy. It's crazy.
The California Army National Guard has been deployed to assist the Sheriff's Department and Los Angeles Police Department in a mutual aid operation to restore law and order and to protect life and property in Los Angeles County.
I don't think there was reluctance. I think that there was on delay for logistical reasons that have to do with equipping the guard. The chief problem has been with respect to ammunition. The troops came with the ammunition, didn't. They came with some ammunition, not the full complement that they should have. The problem was that it was slow coming from Camp Ross.
Start out where we already have a tattoo. He wants to do this. He wants to do this. Position. We call it that.
I didn't expect the NSO was got up.
Tell them to make corners of him. Like, never thought it would be my own country. It's amazing.
You gotta know who you're looking at and who you're thinking about. Whereas in the golf, it's a lot easier. You know?
Take one. You stay down. You see it? If you take bounce, take it up. Oh, you gotta go. Go.
Get off the street, leave the area. These are the police, LAPD. Go up and down, Pico, tell them the curfew is in effect now, get off the street.
I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't feel like the writing we have now and the writing that we had during the Summer of Love was on the same scale of what this appears to have been. It's crazy. And I don't even think that the Insurrection Act has been used yet. Unless I missed it while I was getting that much.
Ramp 3, ramp 1. Ramp 3, ramp 1. Yeah. They're going to turn on the spring back. So keep the way down. So keep the way up highway. So the water pressure they need over here on these houses, we're turning it off. I don't think I'm going to get it different. What I'm trying to do is avoid the sparks.
I didn't really appreciate how many days and how long this was.
I know people got injured because of the movie, and there were police across the street watching it. There's nothing they could do. It was already on the other hand, there were people just going crazy, stepping all over each other.
I know one thing. How hungry I am now. It's the night.
I think that's going to end. Probably going to come out and say, where do we go now?
I guess that's why we're here.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Racism in the United States of America is an American. It's an apple pie.
Los Angeles Mayor Tom Bradley, a police official, said today that they're regaining control over the city.
Police Chief Joe Gates admitted that the peaceful success of start Wednesday afternoon when the violence began. Gates and Fire Chief Donald Brandon conceded that the city's forces were overwhelmed. Firefighters found bulletproof vests as they fought scores of new fires that were set last night. There were still about 40 fires burning early this morning.
At least 35 people are now said to have lost their lives. More than 1,300 people have been injured and 3,000 arrested. The city remains under a dusk to dawn curfew with many stores and malls closed.
Hey, you know what? Props to Maxine Waters. If she managed to calm that situation, get people to cooperate, good fucking for her. You know, white person doing that probably would not have had the effect needed in that moment. So.
Good afternoon, everyone. Robert here in the Channel 13 newsroom. We're interrupting programming this afternoon. Momentarily, we expect to hear a statement from someone whose name will be indelibly connected to all the violence we have seen in the last couple of days in Los Angeles, and that is Rodney King.
And we're standing by with great anticipation. Certainly, Mr. King has not made public statements. He has been really the invisible man in all this. And I detect some movement through the crowd. Yeah, I see. Here he comes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for coming. Rodney King, here this is saying to all the people of Los Angeles and all the people of the cities of the United States so caught up in his horror and hate. The killing, the burning, the looting, the chaos must stop now. The time for healing is upon us. Rodney King has prepared a very brief statement.
People, I just want to say, you know, can we all get along? Can we get along? Can we stop making it horrible for the older people and the kids? And I mean, we got enough smog in Los Angeles. Let alone to deal with the city fires and things. It's just not right. It's not right. And it's not going to change anything. We got to quit. We got to quit. You know, after all, I mean, I can understand for the first 2 hours after the birth, but to go on, keep going on like this and see the security guard shot on the ground, it's just not right. It's just not right because those people will never go home to their families again. And I mean, please, we can get along here. We all can get along. Just gotta, you know, I mean, we're all stuck here for a while. Let's try to work it out. Let's try to get, you know, let's try to work it out.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Steve, now available to question.
Tonight, I want to talk to you about violence in our cities and justice for our citizens. What we saw last night and the night before in Los Angeles is not about civil rights. It's not a message of protest. It's been the brutality of a mob, pure and simple. And let me assure you, I will use whatever force is necessary to restore order. Within 1 hour of the verdict, I directed the Justice Department to move into high gear on its own independent criminal investigation into the case. You must understand that our system of justice provides for peaceful, orderly means of addressing this frustration. We must respect the process of law, whether or not we agree with the outcome. In civilized society, there can be no excuse for the murder, arson, theft, and vandalism that have terrorized the law-abiding citizens of Los Angeles. None of this is what we wish to think of as American. It's as if we were looking in a mirror that distorted our better selves and turned us ugly. We cannot let that happen. We cannot do that to ourselves. If we are to remain the most vibrant and hopeful nation on earth, we must allow our diversity to bring us together, not drive us apart. The violence will end. Justice will be served. Hope will return. Thank you, and may God bless the United States of America.
President George Bush has addressed the nation from the Oval Office. Time for your reactions on the around the country. We're Washington, Maryland, here on the air.
First of all, Mr. Bush spoke in the last 48 hours. This is the first time he knows that America has a problem. Don't have a problem from conception. In 1776, when he said, women create equal and men slavery. It was striking to me that there was no direct statement to the African-American population, and there was completely missing any sense of a reality about how a national leader might move people toward reconciliation.
People have to see that they're going to have to make their voices heard. If they allow an angry politicians to try to explain this away as being drugs and murders, things will not change. This is going to be a people movement. People can move politicians. The community leads, they don't follow. Politicians follow. They don't lead. And that's what we have to remember.
Vamos a tener que aquí, el latino decía quiere apoyar esta ciudad. Necesitamos trayendo más escuelas, sus estudiantes, y los niños que van a venir a facultad a limpiar toda la ciudad.
Yeah, it's see the whole stuff, the burning, the looting, and the cleaning up. First of all, getting the stuff that, you know, everybody needs to work together, and if this can just continue, it was wonderful, but, you know, I don't think it will. I think, you know, people just, okay, put in my time, I helped clean, and then I couldn't do anything. You know, prove me wrong, you know, oh God, prove me wrong, no.
It's not safe. Then we must get this right on our hands. Does everybody to stop the further senseless violence and destruction? We stand together with all those who want justice in the King case. We must not police abuse. We know who it is.
How unruly behavior are listened to in order that place at the bottom of the
This is where it began. This is where the fuse was lit. The end, the arrest by white officers of California Highway Patrol of 2 young Negroes, one unjustified driving. There was an argument. It was a school. It was the only police department spread through the community. Up the street, a block or so in that direction. A church where Negro leaders pleaded for peace and were rejected. And cars were returned and burned, where other cars were sold, where television packages with photos like and beaten to death.
What has changed? The only thing was done was that massive forces were brought in so fast the accident overacted.
The incident is not an isolated incident. The difference this time is that we have the proof.
In a civilized society, there can be no excuse for the
Murder, pillage, looting, and arson have nothing to do with civil rights.
Get out of the car here. Assume a position here. Sit on the curtain here. Everything's going well here. Right, shoot me.
Oh, they'll stop, really. I mean, they may not be like this, but they'll stop.
The crisis in our country, says the Commission, so serious and explosive is the situation that unless it is checked, the August riots may be only a curtain raiser. It could blow up one day in the future. Watch for the name of our nation. We can place a man on the moon, but cannot cure the sickness in our cities. This is Bill South for CBS Reports in Los Angeles. Good night.
Wow. May 4th one. City report the DHS. Wow, 1 billion. So destructive civil disturbance in American history. Wow. None of that was hard. Man. Whew. I'm going to... And it's the part where he actually did the Insurrection Act. History of Insurrection Act. Alright. Let's go to Wikipedia. Okay, so in 2005, the Bush administration considered intervening in the state of Louisiana's response to Hurricane Katrina despite the refusal from Louisiana's governor, but this was inconsistent with past precedent, politically difficult, and potentially unconstitutional. By an unidentified sponsor, amended the National Defense Authorization Act. Added by an unidentified sponsor, amended the Insurrection Act to permit military intervention without state consent in case of emergency that hindered the enforcement of laws. But that got repealed in 2008. He threatened to do it in 2020. So there's been times where he's considered it, but he's never actually done it. I thought I heard something about it being used by Bush during Los Angeles riots. Let's go through that. So when do we have the last time that it was done? Oh. Okay, so yeah, he did do it on May 1st, 1992. Let's read this. I guess the where the Biden former governor of California, the conditions of domestic violence disorder exists in and out of the city and county of Los Angeles and other districts of California, endangering the life and property, obstructing execution of laws, and that the available law enforcement resources, including the National Guard, are unable to suppress such acts of violence and restore law and order. Whereas such domestic violence and disorder are also obstructing the execution of laws in the United States and the affected area, and whereas the governor of California has requested federal assistance in suppressing the violence and restoring law and order in the affected areas. Now, therefore, I, George Bush, President of the United States of America, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and laws of the United States, including Chapter 15, Title 10 of the United States Code, to command all persons engaged in such acts of violence and disorder to cease and desist, and desist therefrom, and disperse and retire peacefully forthwith. And with this whereof, I have hereunto set my hand this first day of May, the year of our Lord, 1992, on the independence of the United States, the independence of the United States of America, the 216th. Do we reach out to him for what? I don't believe scenes. This was considered the Insurrection Act? Okay. Interesting. Okay. White supremacist paramilitaries in South Carolina. Paramilitaries dispersed, troops stay until 1877. Wow. Okay. Interesting. So I guess, the question is, are things really that bad? That is necessary. That's kind of the main question. I think there's really anybody. Oh, my hand's on. These are. I'll just come across on you.
And kickbacks from pharmacy benefit managers to large brokerage middlemen. Number 3, the great healthcare plan will maximize drug transparency by requiring any healthcare provider or insurer who accepts either Medicare or Medicaid to publicly and prominently post their pricing and fees to avoid surprise medical bills. This is an incredibly popular policy that's been bipartisan for many years, and the decision is officially and firmly called on Congress to get it done. Number 4, hold data sharing companies accountable by requiring them to publish rate and coverage comparisons upfront on their website in plain English, so consumers and Canadians can make the best purchasing decisions for them and their families. These are common sense actions that the great healthcare plan and Robert shows comprehensive information on local healthcare costs you have ever been considered by the federal government. Congress should immediately take up this income plan and pass it into law. For Americans watching at home, you can visit greathealthcare.gov right now for more information on the great healthcare plan. In fact, we open it to questions during the questions today. Have a familiar face Riley Haynes, President of the Year and Year podcast Riley Haynes Show. Stay tuned, beautiful things, and beautiful things to so much. First, congratulations to you. I was watching these earlier this week for 3 more days. 2 arguments were heard surrounding sex-based rights and constitutional overstates passed while sex rights for women. If the Supreme Court rules as in favor of maintaining sex-based rights, is the administration prepared to take action against the states, within 23 states that don't have those protections for women? Absolutely. And Riley, the administration already has done so. Take action in a number of fronts against states who are failing to uphold president's executive orders. This administration's policy of simply protecting women who export and women's spaces. We've done that. Large universities as well to try to fight for what's fair and what's just for women in both countries. So, we're at the argument that the women and the formality, and I think the president speaks on common sense issue that women's sports and privacy should be protected. There are 2 genders, there are 2 sexes. That is not something very in the country. And I think it's quite alarming. Now here, a couple of justices are all about basic fundamental biological facts. Many of them are very equal. We are certainly different, and women's rights. We hope it's the cool right outside. Thank you. So this is the second principle in the president's healthcare plan, lowering insurance premiums, specifically ensuring that money is going directly back to the American people and cutting kickbacks that then raise those premiums. So this plan, once it's legislative text and passed by Congress and sent to the president's desk, will stop sending big insurance companies billions of taxpayer money instead send that money directly to eligible Americans to allow them to buy the health insurance of their choice through, you may have heard it be referred to as health savings accounts. Whether that ends up being the actual name of such accounts, we'll have to see. Again, Congress and White House are going to work together to put this plan into action. And then secondly, the great healthcare plan will fund a cost-sharing reduction program for healthcare plan, which will save taxpayers at least $36 billion and reduce the most common Obama-Obama premiums by over 10%, and that's according to the congressional budget.
Americans have seen their healthcare costs soar. Can you assure them that if this plan is put in place, that they will be able to cover those costs?
If this plan is put in place, every single American has healthcare in the United States will see lower costs of insurance, they will see more transparency. All of these proposals that are within the Great Healthcare Plan are incredibly popular with the American people. They will impact everyone, not just a small fraction of those who are within the healthcare marketplace, but every single American will continue to see their costs go down. And I know that they already are with respect to prescription drug prices. You look at what the president has done with most favored nations. You've seen these big pharmaceutical companies in the Oval Office saying that this president and his team were nonstop around the clock pressuring us and negotiating with us to lower the cost of prescription drugs for Americans. And we are already seeing that to the tune in some cases of more than 500%. And that Sean Barrett's website is something that the administration will be formally launching very soon, so Americans will have access to those lower costs of drugs. Josh.
The president is calling federal companies to lower the rate of 20th next week. If they don't do that, what's his?
Tariffs, I'm just kidding. The president certainly has an expectation, Josh, just as he did for companies, that they will lower costs for American consumers. I don't have a specific consequence to outline for you, but certainly this is an expectation that the president has made.
Can you give us an update on that? Sorry. We're wondering if the office is interview this week scheduled. President's indicated he's already made a selection, or at least something. He's selling on someone. Where's he in that process and when can we expect to happen?
Look, the president is in the same place as you all have been asking about this for many, many weeks. He's in a decision-making phase. There are a few people who he likes very much for this job, maybe less than that. The truth is, like with all decisions, it's a decision for the president to make. And he said to Reuters in that interview last night that he thinks he'll be finally making that decision in the next couple of weeks. So we will see.
Very quickly, there's been other governments about Rock and XAI and their AI volume seems to take it down after the president support. We've not heard from this administration on it. Elon Musk says we disabled that, but I wanted to ask you what the administration has been pursuing or the president's talking to us about that.
Yes, I will talk to the Office of Science and Technology and we will get you a firm statement and answer on exactly where the administration stands. I don't want to speak on that without speaking with the experts on it.
Yes. Just to follow up on the healthcare plan, one of the things that Affordable Care Act is coverage of pre-existing conditions. Is there any discussion or in the president's plan?
The president's plan that he outlined today will have no impact on individuals in this country with pre-existing conditions. Obviously, that's a continued conversation that the White House will have with Congress, but that's not the president's intention with the Great Healthcare Plan. Go ahead.
Thanks, Caroline. Two questions on Minneapolis. Two questions on Minneapolis. Turning the ICE together on the rioting. I think last night there were protesters and rioters that rifled through FBI cars with weapons. We had a reporter embedded with ICE who said that she saw constant harassment all evening. Can you speak to the rhetoric we're hearing from Democratic politicians, whether they are causing violence against ICE, as well as some of the headlines we've seen, and not including the full story?
Yeah, I mean, to your first point, I think I've addressed that these Democrat governors and mayors in not just Minnesota but in states across the country are essentially, they've referred to ICE agents who again are brave men and women. And I would encourage everyone in this room, and I would encourage Governor Walz and other Democrats who are demeaning law enforcement to sit down and have a cup of coffee with an ICE agent or a Border Patrol agent. These are great, patriotic men and women who have families, who put on the uniform every day and are following our nation's immigration laws at the direction of their bosses and again, at the direction of the law. They are simply trying to enforce the law. And the Democrat Party has demeaned these individuals and referred to them as Nazis and as the Gestapo. And that is absolutely leading to the violence we're seeing in the streets. If you look at some of the images out of Minneapolis last night, look at this vehicle. Look at what it says. It says F ICE. You have these individuals who are putting their middle finger, proudly so, at the camera. Another ICE individual, vehicle that was vandalized last night by these left-wing agents. People don't know this without encouragement from people in power who make them feel like it's okay. Here's another one. And I'm pretty sure this car, you can't see it, said the best agent is a dead agent or something to that effect. This is despicable. And the media is absolutely complicit in this violence because if you look at the headline from CNN, protests erupt after federal agent shoots man in Minneapolis. That is not the story. That is not the truth. If you actually want to know the truth, you can look at the Department of Homeland Security release, which is that this ICE agent was executing a targeted operation against a Venezuelan illegal alien who was unlawfully present in the country. And when this ICE agent tried to detain the individual, 3 more of his comrades came rushing